Absolutely.
What scent do you think that men tend to find the most appealing on women?
I have found that generally speaking, men find sweeter fragrances very alluring. It's this idea that it's something kind of sweet, something like edible, something that's very warm and comforting. So, like, that's why I always used to sell like a lot of GC Couture when I was working at the counter. And there were so many men that would buy it for like their girlfriends or their wives, like, oh, my wife wears this, or I really like, especially Valentine's Day. Oh, I know people were wearing GC Couture on February 14th. But it's like sweeter fragrance. And that's why brands tend to push them out. That's why fragrances like Black Opium or fragrances like Good Girl or like the Juicy Coutures tend to do really well because it's just like, well, I don't know why it smells good, but it smells good. Like you can never pick out a particular nuance per se, but it's just kind of something that it's like, it's comforting. I don't know what floral note it is. I don't know what particular anything is. Well, not me, myself, not me. No, I'm talking about people that come in.
Oh, okay. So you do
other
know.
people. Yeah, okay. I know. But like other people like tend to just find them just alluring, because they think, well, my grandma would wear this, but my girlfriend or my wife wears this. So
I like that. That's true. It's very simple in their mind. Yeah, you're right.
And with social media, especially, I realized that fragrance can be a very inclusive space because once again, you don't have to have like a certain skin tone or a certain like skin condition or a certain like look, be a certain size to say, okay, I want to smell good.
That's right.
So it's been wonderful.
It's like an equalizer.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It should be.
It should be.
It should be, yeah.
That's really cool. So you got to hear from the brands in terms of like what they are looking for with fragrance and from people in terms of what makes a person like a certain thing. So when you were working in these department stores, did you allow people just to come and test out what they liked, or did you lead with something like based on questions you asked them about themselves?
That's a really great question. I have found that most people like to browse and just pick up something and smell it. And a lot of times people want to be guided. They want to, they'll tell you, I really like something that's floral. I like a sweeter fragrance, or I like something really fresh and clean. I don't like something that's going to be too strong. So in that instance, you can guide them towards options that you think that would be best suited towards them and maybe their lifestyle or their taste. But I have found I'm really fortunate that when I started with retail, I wasn't incentivized with like commission. So it wasn't like, okay, I have to promote Gucci this week, or I have to promote Flower Bomb. Like these sales have to happen.
Right.
And I just found that like it makes people happier to connect with a fragrance they genuinely enjoy and have like a really good like interaction with versus you trying to convince someone, oh, you should like this.
And that's really frustrating when that happens, especially because it's like some people who struggle with speaking up for themselves, maybe they'll just say, okay, even if they don't really like it because they feel like they're getting pressured to purchase it.
Oh, yeah.
Fragrance is such a personal thing. But with that, how is it that you navigated the fragrances changing on people? Because they spray it, right? And then maybe they're like, oh, I like this. This is fruity. I'm going to buy it. But then later on, it dries down and it changes into something different. Is it something that you let them know, like, okay, this may change on you, walk around a little bit and come back?
I think that I'm so like, maybe it was just the time I was working. I'm so glad it wasn't like commission based because I wasn't like, okay, you have to make this sell right now and you have to buy this. Like if someone said, hey, I'm someone who fragrances tend to change on me a little bit. I need to walk around or maybe take a sample home. I'm like, okay, like I'll see you next week or tomorrow or later today if you want to come back. And if you don't, okay, that's fine too. I think it's allowing people to not feel pressured into something because at the end of the day, like your scent memory and how you associate this fragrance, it can be either a really positive memory or a terrible memory. And I always think, why not make it something that, is a great time for them, a great memory.
You are so right about that. Because there are some times, because I'm so sensitive to fragrance, if I spend too much time with the sales associate trying a certain fragrance, and let's say even that day, my memory is not so good. Like I didn't have a great time in the mall or like traffic was awful. When I smell that fragrance again, my mind goes back to the sales associate. It goes back to that day and I can't even fully enjoy it. Yeah. So it's powerful.
Oh, absolutely. And that's the thing, like scent itself is such a powerful tool that people use to like unlock memories, unlock feelings, unlock emotions, unlock times in their life, And actually, I always tell this is kind of like a joke, but I dated a guy a few years ago and he got me a fragrance for my birthday. And it was a really nice fragrance, very expensive. However, like the moment I sprayed it, I thought to myself, this is never going to work out. I've been dating you for XYZ amount of time and you smelled this and thought this is something I would wear. Like, I knew you don't know me.
Whoa.
In my mind, I immediately thought, there's no way you know me. I would never wear this. This is not, like, it's just not my taste. And you don't know that about me. Because you don't care to know that about me. You've never
Right.
picked up on, oh, this is something that she would like.
Do you think a lot of men pick up on that? Because I will tell you, like my girlfriends, we're talking about Jackie right now. My girlfriends, when they smell something, they're like, oh, you would wear this. This
Yeah.
smells like something you would wear. But I've never heard a man ever say this smells like something you would wear.
I would say that like I always just kind of assume that most people are not like this a sommelier of fragrance. Like they don't like know like every nuance of a fragrance.
Right.
Most people come in and say, oh, I like something sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I like something like kind of dessert-like, you know, or I like something floral or like something just really clean. They can't tell you exactly what it is in particular, but you know, you kind of know like when you're around someone long enough, like, okay, this person kind of always smells really florally, like florally. And then they never know if it's like rose or like peony or anything specific, but florally. Or this person tends to like sweeter fragrances.
Okay.
And so for me, like I am someone that tends to like a sweeter fragrance.
Okay.
And this fragrance was like the complete opposite.
Oh, I see.
And I thought to myself, like, I mean, even if you don't know anything about fragrance, like if you smell this, you would know I would never wear this.
What if he wanted you to smell like that?
I would never wear this. Maybe I'm too headstrong. I would never wear that.
That's so funny. No, you're right though, because I've definitely like seen my mom. She is one of those people who likes to like look at fragrance, not necessarily wear them.
Yeah.
So she lines them all up, and I'll smell fragrances that people have bought her, and I'm like, oh, these smell awful.
Yeah.
Why would they buy this for you? Like, this doesn't even go with your essence.
It was on sale.
It was on sale. You're probably right. That's so funny.
No, I'm just kidding. I know. I mean, and the thing is, like, you know, with anything, you know, once again, like sometimes people just buy things because of the packaging, you know.
Yes.
But in my mind, I thought like this is someone who is supposed to really care about me, and I have taken the time to get to know you and kind of know what your taste is. And you have not done the same for me, especially considering you knew I like fragrance.
That's true.
So you didn't take the time to figure out what I would like. And that was kind of a red flag for me. Which,
yeah, well, you knew.
I knew. It was just the beginning. It was the beginning. But that was kind of like the point that I go back to when I think about also like, you know, getting to know people and like why it's important, like when you care about someone, whether it's a friendship or, you know, a relationship that's a sister, a brother, a parent, you know, what it means to like intentionally select something that this person would like, especially if it's a gift.
You're right. You're right about that.
Moving with intent. I would never get my best friend a Home Depot gift card, you know, because, you know, I know she likes maybe a massage or get her nails done or Zara, you know. Home Depot, she'd be like, girl, what am I supposed to do?
That's right.
Redo my floors?
You're right about that. That's actually my favorite compliment is you smell good.
Yes.
I remember telling my husband that when we were dating. I was like, I love, like that was the first thing that he said to me. And I'm like, I love that that was the first thing that you said because that is my favorite compliment more than anything because to choose the right fragrance for me and my body, it just says more in my opinion than like the way I'm dressed or, you know, my makeup and that kind of. What are some tips that you learned about applying fragrance on yourself? Is there a way to apply it that matters?
You know, it's really interesting because I ask people what their taste preference is when they wear fragrances, right? So for some people, like they want the whole room to smell them. Like they want their scent to just gravitate towards everybody around them, like a cloud, you know? And some people, they like something a little bit more intimate. You know, maybe just like a little bit on their wrist, maybe a little bit behind their neck. What I have found best is fragrance does not substitute for good hygiene. So not bathing or not like, you know, using deodorant or something is not a precursor to just not do when you want to wear fragrance.
Good.
So obviously having a clean base is a wonderful way to start. Okay. And truthfully, especially with my platform, I have realized that it is important to not assume everybody knows what good hygiene looks like.
That's right.
I also have to remember sometimes it comes from a place of privilege to know, oh, well, I had someone that taught me how to bathe properly and how to select the right deodorant or how to select the right type of, you know, anything, you know, in order to have just the basic clean hygiene, you know? So when I see videos where it's like how to pick out a good body wash or how to pick out a good body cream or how to select deodorant, I just have to remember like, well, there's people out here who weren't taught that. Maybe they had absent parents. So good hygiene starts is a great way. Maybe a matching body cream. Like if you're wearing a vanilla fragrance, a vanilla body cream.
Okay.
And then spraying on your pulse points as much or as little as you prefer.
Can you tell us where the pulse points are?
Of course. So your pulse points are really the spots on your body where you tend to release the most heat. So like the inside of your elbows, for example, behind your knees, like creasy spot. I always say creasy spots. Behind your ears, behind your shoulders or your neck, the places where you tend to get hot. And so I also tell people though, if you're sensitive to fragrance, to actually spray it behind your body. Because when you wear fragrance and you enjoy your fragrance, right, it's coming up. So you spray maybe your fragrance on your collarbone and you're smelling it all day on yourself. But for people that get migraines, but they still want to wear fragrance, spray behind you. Spray behind your shoulders. Because now other people will still smell you, but now it's not coming up right under your nose. So you get an opportunity now to not have to like get a headache or feel like I can't wear fragrance. Spray behind your knees, or behind your ankles if you're adventurous. But there's so many different ways to be able to enjoy fragrance to suit your personal taste.
Do you believe that people should have a signature fragrance?
I think that now it's starting to become a little antiquated. The idea of I wear this and this is what people know me for.
Right.
I think that it's kind of a thing that brands kind of led with to kind of maybe help to encourage loyalty to fragrances like Chanel No. 5 or maybe like Dolce & Gabbana's Light Blue. I have found though that people that wear Chanel No. 5 and Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue are the most loyal people on earth. Like they're the most loyal because that is all they wear.
Like in general, like they're loyal people.
They are
in
so
general?
loyal, like because they are stuck to those fragrances. They will not try anything else. But I think that with exposure to like so many different types of brands, like people are now realizing that they're not limited to just whatever is at Ulta or whatever is at like Macy's or at Sephora. Now, I can go into Neiman Marcus and try a niche brand, or I can go on Amazon and get like a $50 like Arab perfume, and now they're realizing that there's a world beyond just what they see in like commercial stores.
That was an eye-opener for me as someone who genuinely loves fragrance. I've loved fragrance since I was in elementary school. I used to go to the department stores and spray everything on, and I would come home just smelling
everything.
Yes. I would spray fragrance on my clothes so that I could smell that way at school because I knew it was going to come off and I couldn't obviously afford it at 7 years old.
Yeah.
But I got older and I started like smelling everything and realizing I have worn everything or I know everything here. Like I can smell something and say, this smells just like this. My nose was so like sophisticated in that way. And then I found brands that were more like apothecary or that had more of like natural scents that were in neighborhoods that maybe had like small mom and pop shops and they weren't in department stores. And I fell in love with those types of fragrances. And I realized that people don't ever really come to these stores.
Yeah.
It's only people maybe who are like higher SES that walk into shops like that, but they cost just almost sometimes, not all the time, as much as the brands in the department stores, but you're smelling things that are more unique and you don't smell like the next girl wearing Juicy Couture.
Yeah.
Introducing Silent Storm, the fragrance. Fine forever.